Hi, this is Dr. David Dobson. Welcome to Conversations. Today, my guest is Diego Delgado. Diego is a real estate broker. After working several years in banking industry, he turned his entrepreneurial passion into working in the real estate business, which he has been doing for more than a decade. Diego has a bachelor's degree in economics from Colombia and an MBA from University of Guelph. In our conversation, we will discuss Diego's entrepreneurial journey. It's a pleasure to have you on my show, Diego.
Thank you, David. It is a pleasure to be here with you today.
After more than a decade working in the banking industry, you decided to start your own business. What led you to do this?
Well, David, a few years back, I would say in 1991, I migrated from Colombia, South America, came to Toronto, and we always come to these countries to basically progress, study, move in the ladder of success, if you wish, because we're dreamers. So that being said, in 1994 I got engaged in a course with Seneca College, International Business Management to be specific. That time, I managed to get a good position marketing their products in mutual funds, insurance, and all those particulars that they offer currently and in the past too. So that being said, after 2 years, I have generated this great interest in the financial field, and in the meantime, I met some people that were really focused on real estate investments. Those investments basically were kind of larger than myself at that moment because I was just starting. But anyway, the experience at Canada Life motivated me to get into an MBA in 1996, to be precise.
Okay.
That's basically when I met you. And we went through the whole course, learning and, of course, getting more experience.
Yeah.
That basically catapulted me to move along with the banking industry in Guelph initially. I worked with CIBC for about 1 year. And after that 1 year, one of our classmates, invited me to present my curriculum vitae to Royal Bank.
Yeah.
At that moment, I was accepted to the Royal Bank as a junior systems business systems analyst.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience because not only professionally, I was able to use my knowledge, the knowledge acquired in Guelph University at Universidad del Valle in Colombia and with the International Business Management.
Yeah.
So dealing with people in the office and with different banking corporations, because Royal Bank Singapore were creating basically an amalgamated effort for the processing part of the banking industry.
Okay.
Learning throughout the years basically opened my eyes, David.
Yeah.
When I say open my eyes, it's basically meeting people that are very sharp, very intelligent, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And it was mostly related to real estate investments.
Yeah.
A few years into my career with Royal Bank Singapore, I'm talking about probably 2005.
Okay.
I got the opportunity to research like private schools to learn more about real estate, but not only as mutual funds. I was also looking at the opportunity to invest money, some savings, buy property, and create a portfolio.
Okay.
So it was a very interesting opportunity. So I met a person from specifically CIBC, and he showed me the ropes, David. He
Okay.
was very generous, an open person
Okay.
who really wanted me to continue growing in this country of opportunity. Then my first investment in real estate
Yeah.
was back in 2005,
Yeah.
2003. If my memory doesn't fail me, we bought a triplex in Hamilton,
Okay.
Ontario.
Uh-huh.
And then as we learn and as we practice with
Yeah.
contractors,
Yeah.
engineers,
Yeah.
lawyers,
Yeah.
all those important people in this business,
Yeah.
created the motivation for me to continue
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
So going back to our migration times,
Yeah.
I noticed that here in Canada, we really needed to help
Yeah.
new people, new immigrants to find
Yeah.
accommodation
Yeah.
and make sure that the investments that we had were generating us some cash flow, but also with the component to help people. When I came to Canada, I was fortunate because my brother was studying in Toronto, so I was able to kind of live with him for a little while until I found my accommodation. So I know how hard it is, and especially because you don't have any credit scores, or nobody knows you, nobody wants to rent you because you don't have 12 months of experience or 2 years of experience. So based on that, we continue investing in Hamilton, Ontario. We bought a few units in Mississauga, and there you go. The ball was rolling, and we were learning constantly. We were practicing constantly, and in basically around 2008, uh, still working with Royal Bank Singapore, we went for vacation to the Dominican Republic. Met this couple that they were like a mid-size investor, and when I said mid-size, is they are people that own 100, 150 units more or less in Cornwall. So they invited us to come visit this area, David. We spent about four days here, and well, you don't need to be a mathematician, the prices were really good. The cash flow was there. So with my teammate, who is my wife, we decided that we needed to kind of expand our operation to Cornwall, Ontario. So we bought the first building that we bought in Cornwall, Ontario. Interesting enough, was a fiveplex, 5 units for $130,000 back in the day. Amazing. But it needed work. Of course, it was a building that it was a little bit in disrepair. So still learning and getting to know people, contractors, working with the city permits is an interesting journey.
Yeah.
So we kept on adding property to the portfolio, if you wish, David.
Yeah.
And as we grow, of course, we were finding good issues. And I said good issues because those are the ones that make you learn. Those are the
Yeah.
ones that make you stronger,
Yeah.
and make you be more creative.
Yeah.
So as I said,
Yeah.
we have dreams, David,
Yeah. Yeah.
but dreams are only reality, if you wish,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you act, when you have some action.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't happen. They will stay
Yeah.
here as a dream.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so to tell you the truth, the last 20 or 20 some years that we haven't seen each other, but we have been in contact,
Yeah.
um, have given me a lot of experience,
Yeah.
uh, a lot of understanding of life,
Yeah.
and seeing you, for example, progressing on the other side of the equation, because you are
Yeah.
more academy
Yeah.
with uh, helping people, because in the
Yeah.
end, that's what you're doing too. You're
Yeah.
helping people, but in
Mm.
in a different way.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, we realized that the portfolio that we had with more or less 42, 43 units
Yeah.
was getting dated again. And remember, as we said at the beginning, this gray hair
Yeah.
makes you makes you start changing your way of doing business for one,
Yeah.
but also revitalizing your
Yeah.
portfolio.
Yeah.
So we sold some of the old buildings, and when I say old buildings, we're talking about buildings that were 70 years old in good condition
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
repaired them,
Yeah.
but we sold them for a profit.
Yeah.
And with that money,
Yeah.
we had an opportunity to buy a few pieces of land,
Yeah.
and then we build new. So
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
here, all this story
Yeah.
about the banking industry,
Mm.
learning,
Yeah.
buying, making
Yeah.
errors because
Yeah.
we made a
Yeah.
few books,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
made us understand that they as we age, we needed to
Yeah.
modify the portfolio, modify
Yeah.
our strategy.
Yeah.
So we built some new buildings. So now
Yeah.
that we age, we have, let's say, less energy, physical energy, because
Yeah.
sometimes we
Yeah.
have to do some of the work too.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that we just hire people, David. We also have to do this.
You have to get your hand dirty, you know?
Yeah, yeah. But always in the good way.
Yeah.
So, anyway, dealing with investors and dealing with the banks, learning
Yeah.
about mutual funds and learning about all
Yeah.
these ingredients
Yeah.
uh, made me think, okay, well, I'm good working with
Mhm.
people, dealing with
Yeah.
people, helping
Yeah.
people. Why don't I get my license as a
Yeah.
realtor? So
Yeah.
back in 2012,
Hmm.
I decided to go back to school, and I got
Nice.
my real estate license as a salesperson. That's the way you start always.
Okay.
So 2 years later, I got my broker's license. And
Hmm.
when
Nice.
you are a real estate agent, real estate
Yeah.
salesperson, you
Yeah.
have to park your license with
Yeah.
a company, with a brokerage. So I
Yeah.
went with Exit Realty in Cornwall.
Yeah.
It's a US based company,
Okay.
and I was the top seller for a few years.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you that because it's part of, actually, I have some of my trophies here, but
Yeah.
it's just rewarding.
Okay.
I worked with them for about 8 years, and I got to the conclusion that I wanted to just jump on my own. And
Nice.
that's my entrepreneurial portion of all these things,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yes, I love the academy. Yes, I
Yeah.
love to study. I haven't
Yeah.
stopped learning. I
Yeah.
probably won't. So
Yeah.
I said, okay, now is the right time to jump in the water and open my own company. So
Yeah.
interesting enough, I went
Yeah.
to Ottawa because I
Okay.
wanted to open my corporation.
Yeah.
Uh, I opened the corporation looking for the name, the right name. And
Mm.
then it came, I wanted to have something global, David. So I put
Yeah.
it the
Yeah.
global plus realty, but the global was initially with THE,
Ah,
but
okay.
that name was close to another company's name, so they weren't
Oh.
allowed to register that one. So I had to put my D as Diego and D as Delgado. So it's like the D dot global. That's the
Nice.
root of the name. So that being said, 2019, December 2019, I went
Yeah.
to the broker of that exit company and I said, listen, I am going solo. I decided to open my own brokerage. Of course,
Yeah.
they were disheartened because I was one of the big producers,
Yeah.
constantly generating income for me and of course for the
Yeah.
brokerage. So
Yeah.
there was that, and but it was time for me to start.
Yeah.
It has been four beautiful years.
Mm.
In those years, because of my roots with
Yeah.
Colombia and Central
Yeah.
America and
Yeah.
thinking about the
Yeah.
Americas,
Yeah.
I decided to open in Panama and in Colombia.
Yeah.
So right now, my company, my entrepreneurial results, if you wish,
Yeah.
are basically in 3 countries, generating about $30 million in sales, which is
Wow.
a good number.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is.
Generating income for about, we are eight team members. We
Mm,
have
nice.
four here in Canada. We have
Nice.
four in Colombia. We
Nice.
have one in Panama.
Nice. Nice. Well,
So,
well done, Diego. When you started your business, what are some of the challenges you faced?
okay, that's a very good question, David. Some of the challenges, I would say,
Yeah.
the most difficult one was
Yeah.
financing, and
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why. Even though
Yeah.
I have a good income from
Yeah.
my employment
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the right housing for, of course,
Yeah.
the banks are thinking, okay, this person took some courses,
Yeah.
get some experience, but
Yeah.
don't have the full knowledge as
Yeah.
it is. So that was at the beginning one of the most difficult challenges to go
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I would say for the banking industry,
Yeah.
uh, there are workarounds, and
Yeah.
sometimes what I did was I looked for
Yeah.
money, and then and I say unfortunately to the banking industry because yeah, sometimes well, wealthy people, they want to lend you money because they see that you have the potential, that you know what you're doing. Of course, you have to pay a few more dollars interest wise, but that's what I did. I used that bridge, and then I got money from private lenders, got my building, improved the cash flow, and then I went back to the banking industry. I said, listen, my building is running well. Look at the numbers. Would you help me? So I transferred from private lenders to the banking industry. That is cheaper in the end, David.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other challenge I would say that we had to face is
Yeah.
finding good contractors, honest
Okay.
people, because
Yeah.
most people here in Canada, I would say 99.9 of us are very honest, but
Yeah.
still, sometimes you find the odd
Yeah.
situation where
Mm-hmm.
the contractor doesn't show up,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
materials somehow get lost.
Yeah.
So those are challenges that as an investor,
Yeah.
you have to face. You
Yeah.
have to face. But
Yeah.
yeah, the most challenging one was financing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, thank God, knock on wood, you are
Yeah.
established, you're well known, and
Yeah.
they know that you have the know-how and how to deal
Yeah.
with everything.
Yeah.
So it's different.
Yeah.
It's easier these days.
Yeah. So what kept you going despite these challenges you faced? Because I know that financing is definitely is the biggest challenge for most entrepreneurs. So what kept you going?
Well, I guess what kept me going is the fact that I wanna make a difference on this earth. I
Yeah.
wanna I wanna make sure that when people
Yeah.
remember me, David remember
Yeah.
his good friend Diego Delgado and former class at the
Yeah.
university.
Yeah.
Uh, I have left something behind
Yeah.
that you will feel proud. I feel very proud for you because you in your field you're shining. So that's what I want. I want to
Mm.
make sure that I did something good while I was on this earth in my journey here. And
Yeah.
trust me, the most important thing is not to allow time to go through and then you have nothing to show. But it's not just for being proud. It's just because you accomplished something. You
Yeah.
did something. That's
Yeah.
what motivated me constantly,
Mm.
up until today. And
Yeah.
I keep on saying, David,
Yeah.
I think if the Lord gives me an opportunity to live until
Yeah.
100 years, I'll
Yeah.
be working because
Yeah.
it's not that I'm a workaholic,
Yeah.
is that desire that I have to help.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just by
Yeah.
helping,
Yeah.
naturally, money
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is very interesting because your motivation being entrepreneur was not the money making was a first space. Like it's not like you decide, oh, I want to be a super rich, so I want to start my business. But the motivation was is indeed help people in that process.
Correct, correct. That has been my energy, my
Yeah.
fuel every day. And
Yeah.
of course, family, friends,
Yeah.
that's part
Yeah.
of motivation.
Yeah.
But in general terms, my gasoline, it
Yeah.
has been that
Yeah.
sense of doing something for our earth,
Yeah. Yeah.
for people,
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
capacity, what I can do
Yeah.
for us, I would say.
Yeah. 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 That's a very important point. So I want to ask you this question. So what is your advice to someone who wants to be an entrepreneur?
Well, don't be afraid. that's my first advice, David.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we as humans
Yeah.
getting into a comfort zone,
Yeah.
and we are too afraid to give ourselves the opportunity to
Yeah.
release all that creativity or
Hmm.
that inspiration that we come with, because
Yeah.
is the intimidation of your own fears. So
Hmm.
fear is the worst enemy of anybody.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. Jump
Hmm.
in the fire. Look for professionals.
Hmm.
Go to seminars. Keep on learning.
Yeah.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
That has been one of my biggest success I
Yeah.
have. I always ask
Yeah.
questions. I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
To this day, David,
Yeah.
I keep on asking if I don't know something, and I know you are specialized in international marketing. I would call David. Hey, David, I'm
Yeah.
in the middle of this. Would
Yeah.
you give me 5-10 minutes of your time and teach me the
Yeah.
rope? Um,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the other advice,
Yeah.
David, is the fact that don't be afraid to pay professionals.
Yeah.
And sometimes people want to be the accountant, the
Yeah.
plumber, the electrician. No, no, no. In my life, I learned that if David is the specialist in law for real estate transaction, well, guess what? I'm going to be paying David because
Yeah.
David is the one who's going to guide me
Yeah.
and is going
Yeah.
to make my business successful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
one of my biggest advice, and David, people
Yeah.
should look for professionals and
Yeah.
and don't be afraid. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best piece of advice to be successful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see a very a huge value to your point because I think that the shyness, hesitation might prevent us to really seeking more help. And I think what you're really saying is that look, reach out to people, ask questions, and don't be shy. I mean, and most cases, I think your own experience would be that most people are want to help other people. If someone approach you and ask some help, you probably most likely will help that person out because that person make an effort to come in and talk to you. Is that your experience so far when you reach out to people and they are willing to help you out and talk to you?
You are totally right. Eh, in 99.9% of the cases, the person of the expert that I have approached,
Yeah,
they have no conditions to help
yeah,
or answer a few questions. Now,
yeah,
when it's time, as I said, when it's time that I'm gonna require your time in
yeah,
in a manner
yeah,
that is going to occupy you for hours or
yeah,
whatever, well, we have to
yeah,
pay. But
yeah,
that's key.
yeah,
Success is
yeah,
based on who you are relating
yeah,
to. So
yeah,
I have created a
yeah,
team, Dave,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
wish.
yeah,
Here, for example, in Cornwall,
yeah,
I have lawyers, I have accountants, I
yeah,
have technical people in the
yeah,
electrical field, plumbing
hmm,
field, and the
yeah,
same in Panama, the same in Colombia. So wherever you're buying, I
yeah,
always put you with the right team to
yeah,
help you accomplish your dreams or your financial goals. Because in the
yeah,
end, I am the expert. I am the
yeah,
one who has to help
yeah,
you.
yeah,
So I always think David's pocket is
uh-huh,
my pocket, and I want his pocket to get more coin, and I want my pocket to make more coin.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, even
yeah,
though the
hmm,
coin is gonna get into your pocket or my pocket,
yeah,
don't forget the roots from where we're coming from.
yeah,
Don't lose the focus that we're here
yeah,
on this
yeah,
earth
yeah,
to help.
yeah,
There is a mission
yeah,
behind you and
yeah,
I, behind this
yeah,
glass, behind all the time that we have
yeah,
spent reading
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
So don't forget those roots. That's also key in my life. Wherever you see me, it's gonna be the same Diego that you met
okay,
1996. Be
okay,
humble. In the
okay,
end, when we go, we're not gonna take anything with us then.
yeah,
So do it right. That's all
yeah,
I can say.
yeah, yeah. I want to ask you one more question. So when you started, it was you are small at the time, like your business was small. You know, what I mean, now you have bigger volume, like you have more sales. So how do you manage that growth? You know what I mean? Like because sometimes I hear from entrepreneurs, they have passion about something and they start, and then sometimes it's very difficult to kind of see themselves expanding, because the more you expand, the more you're giving away your power to more people. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel that type of challenges? And or if you do, how do you really manage those expansion challenges?
Very good question, maybe. To tell you the truth, what I have used is technology. Technology is vital for any
Okay.
business these days. Of course,
Okay.
I still use some of the old methods to kind of promote my business,
Yeah.
uh, like newspapers,
Yeah.
because some people still, we have part
Yeah.
of the old generation
Yeah.
that they are not really good with computers, or they
Yeah.
don't have a website to visit, or they don't know how
Yeah.
to access the web.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
still use that method, but technology has been key because, like right now, we are having this conversation.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
technology, if you write me a message, for example, asking for information, I
Yeah.
have a system that it will reply, like if it is me, saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, David, thank you for looking out for this property. Here is the basic information. Let me know if
Yeah.
you need some more info." So
Yeah.
technology is key. Is key. Is paramount. It's a little bit costly, but
Yeah.
it's an investment in the end,
Yeah.
because if you want to be present in
Yeah.
different nations, you
Yeah.
have to use technology. These days, you will be able to be in the whole Americas without the
Right.
help of technology, basically.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Great.
and good accounting systems. That's paramount. Paramount. You're
Okay.
running a business, and as a business, you have to focus on money that
Yeah.
comes in, money that goes out, and
Yeah.
make sure that you are paying your suppliers, that you are
Yeah.
fulfilling all those
Yeah.
obligations, because
Yeah.
that's basically making you a solid person, a solid company, and a solid reputation.
Okay. Good. So, Diego, what is next for you?
Next, David, oh, you have those very good questions. I would say that in my career, my next
Yeah.
step is to continue growing in
Yeah.
the Americas.
Yeah.
When I said growing in the Americas, my
Yeah.
plan is to tackle
Yeah.
countries like Ecuador,
Yeah.
Peru, um, Chile,
Yeah.
Bolivia, slowly but
Yeah.
surely.
Yeah.
As I said to you, I started my own just four
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that when I'm offering you my assistance in a
Yeah.
country, I have
Yeah.
I have the structure to help you from A to Z.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that I'm solid in the other nations. And
Yeah.
at that moment, I will jump. But yeah, it's international growth. It's
Okay.
international growth. And
Wonderful.
I'm trying to probably establish what I call mobile real estate person. So we don't need an office to have agents
Right.
anywhere. They can work from their home,
Yeah.
be licensed, of course,
Yeah.
because in Canada and in Panama, Colombia
Yeah.
is just getting to that point. So
Okay.
licensed agents that are functioning in these nations, but all done electronically, because right now you can do contracts electronically,
Yeah.
sign
Yeah.
paperwork electronically.
Yeah.
So that's part of my whole idea, integrate technology with agents that are knowledgeable in their countries or their areas.
Great. Thank you for your time and sharing your story, Diego. All the best.
Oh, it is my pleasure, and I think in a few years, if you wish, we can get together again and
Yes.
see where we are, how we're
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be in
Yeah.
your program. I have seen a lot of your interviews, very encouraging. I learned a lot too. Thank you so much.